Hey, it's Annie and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to share some tips with you guys with foundation application, especially if you have dry, mature skin. So I'm going to talk a little bit about prepping your skin. At the end of this video, because I'm going to show you as I'm applying it, I'm going to come back here too, and I'm just going to give you some recommendations for you guys as well. And when I'm giving you recommendations, I'm going to share what I have, but you don't have to use what I have, okay? If you want to try it, that's great, but I'm just going to share what I have, but you can look for something similar, okay? All right. So if you have dry, mature skin, you need to prep your skin really, really well. Now, I have oily skin and I still prep my skin really, really well. All right. So I have a whole morning routine and I have to reshoot that video. I have a video that I did and I need to reshoot that one. Okay. Maybe I'll shoot after this, but you want to have a good morning routine. So I always cleanse my face. If you have dry skin, I know some people with dry skin are like, I can't cleanse my skin. I still think it's good to get off what you have the night before. There are some cleansers that you don't have to wash off that are more of like a lotion, and you can put that on and then just wipe it off so you're not putting any water on because you probably feel like the water is drying, okay? But when you have dry skin, besides putting moisturizer on your skin, you've got to make sure you're getting some of that dry skin off too, okay? Because otherwise you're just putting on a moisturizer on dry skin and you need to get that dry skin off. So you either have to exfoliate or use a chemical exfoliant. You want to make sure that you are doing that because you need to make sure that your canvas, your face, is all ready for foundation. Because if it's not, it's going to look like crap. It just will. No matter what you do, it just look like crap. So you've got to make sure that you're taking care of your skin. You're prepping it really, really well. I moisturize with a couple different moisturizers as part of my morning routine, which, like I said, I will share with you guys, even though I have oily skin. I have oily skin, but that's mature skin, and I still like to make sure that I'm hydrating. So again, I'll share it in another video. So today I'm going to use this one as my prep, okay? So I want to make sure my skin's hydrated. This is my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. I love this for my primer because I feel like, and that's what I would call this, like my primer. I like to use this because I just feel like it's just a really nice base. It gives my face a nice glow. So if this isn't in your budget, just try to find a nice moisturizer that you can put on before your foundation. You don't want anything too greasy. That's why I like this, because I don't find that it's greasy on me. But it spreads out really, really well, and my foundation just always looks really nice when I use this. Again, I have oily skin, but I still have to moisturize. That's one thing I didn't do when I was younger, is I didn't moisturize enough because I just thought, oh, I have oily skin, I don't have to do that, and I probably should have. Today I'm going to go in with this one. This one is from Giorgio Armani. This is the Luminous Silk Perfect Glow. I love this foundation, but it has, I've already talked about it. You know why I don't like it. If you've seen the video, you already know. I like it, but you know. So if you have dry skin, now I like to do this anyways, but if you have dry, flaky skin especially, I would not recommend using a brush to apply your makeup. And the reason is you're going to stir up all that dry, flaky skin that you have, and it's going to look worse. So I like to use it on a sponge, and I would just kind of dab it all over like that, and then I start to push it in. And when you're using a sponge and you're pushing it in, so I just kind of dab all over just to spread it, and then I will push it in. It's just, you're going to get such a prettier finish with it. It's going to look more airbrushed, you know, it's just going to melt in with your skin as opposed to a brush. I just feel like a brush, I just feel like it's hard on mature skin too, because I feel like you're pulling your skin when you're using it, and I don't think you get as pretty of a look on our skin, and you're just constantly trying to chase the brush marks, you know, you're constantly trying to chase those. Don't keep trying to, like, if you have discoloration on your face, you don't want to keep adding more foundation. If it seems to be that big of an issue, then what I will do is I will go in with a color corrector. I should have brought it in here, but You guys know what I'm going to say if you've been following me. My minerals, my Color Science mineral color corrector. I love those. I love those. If you have dry skin, then you're not going to want to put on a bunch of powder products on top of your foundation. And you're probably not going to want to set your foundation. The only powder I would put on your face if you have dry skin would be a hydrating powder. I'm not going to use one today myself, but I do have one from Jouer that I've shared with you guys recently. That Jouer powder, I should have brought it in here. I don't have all my makeup because my makeup is in my bathroom, okay? But you can use a hydrating powder. Again, doesn't have to be the one from Jouer. There's one from By Terry that's really good. So I'm just mentioning those two because I know I've tested them. I can't recommend anything that I haven't tried. But if you want to use a powder, you want to look for one that actually is hydrating. So look for one that's hydrating. I would also make sure that you are using like a cream blush. If you use a bronzer, use a cream bronzer. I would use cream or liquid products on your skin if you find it to be dry, because the more powder products you put on, the more drying it's going to be. So again, you want to use a foundation that's hydrating too. I wouldn't use anything that's really heavy. Something that's more serum-like is what I would use. And if you are like putting on your foundation, you feel like no matter, there's certain areas of your face that are dry and patchy. I can't stress this enough. Skincare is really, really important. You've got to get that under control. If it's due to the tretinoin, I get that. That's why I stopped using tretinoin. That's why I stopped using it. So there's only so much you can do because you'll keep peeling. That's why I started using Truth Treatments. I'm not trying to be like selling you on anything, but I'm just telling you that's why I don't use tretinoin anymore. I have oily skin, but I was like continually peeling. It was driving me bananas. It's like, what's the point of having dry, patchy skin? And do you know what I'm saying? This is the thing. If you are finding that you're using tretinoin and you put it in certain areas and it's patchy, then maybe I wouldn't use a foundation. You can use a concealer. You can color correct, or you can use a concealer, or you can use both. So let me explain. So say you have redness. Use a color corrector. There's a couple that you can use. You can use something like this. This is from It Cosmetics, and this is the Bye Bye Redness. It's kind of weird because when you look at this, it looks kind of like, it looks really peachy, okay? But if you have redness, this will help to eliminate it. So you just have to get the right matchup for this. So if you can, go to Ulta or something and see if you can match yourself up. But you can just put this in the areas you need it. And when you blend it, it's not going to look, if you get the right shade, it's going to blend in with your skin. So it's not like you're going to have look like you have a product here and nothing. It won't look like that. I promise you it won't. And use the tiniest amount, Let me show you. I'm just gonna use my finger, honestly. Just that, okay? Here, I have a brown spot actually right there, but that's not for that, but here. I'm just using my finger. Do you see that? See how I covered that up? And you blend it out and look at. See? Like it's hard to see. See that? So get something like this. Or another one that you can get. Now this is a green one because it depends on what you're color correcting. So this would be for redness. And you would just put this in the areas that you have some redness. Now this personally I feel like works better with a foundation over it because it could tend to look ashy-ish or something, you know what I mean? Like you'll see it a little bit. Let me put it on this hand so you can see what I'm talking about. Like it's just going to have a little bit of a green tinge, okay? So this to me works better if you have a foundation on over it. See what I'm saying? Okay. But you can just use this in those areas and then you can put a concealer on top of it. Now the concealer that I would recommend for your face, as I would not recommend one that's like I wouldn't recommend this. I think that a better recommendation would be one of those that come in those little pots like the NARS ones that you can just put in those areas where maybe you have some discoloration or whatever. So you're not putting it on your whole face, but you're just putting it in those areas. And you want to try to get something that's as close to your skin tone as possible. You just use a brush like this to apply it. Okay, just apply it wherever and blend it out. It's going to blend out, but it's just going to be in those specific areas. Let me get the rest of my makeup on and I'll give you guys some more tips. You have dry skin, as I said in the beginning, you've got to make sure that you are hydrating your skin. You have to really, really make sure. You can use their serums that you can use. I'm going to share a separate video on that, okay? So I'm going to share a skincare video and I'm specifically talk about dry skin. But what I'm going to share with you today is, besides using a moisturizer, use a hydrating spray, okay? So in the morning when you're doing your skincare routine and you're going to apply your moisturizer, honestly, you can do it before or after. I don't feel like it matters, but you can do it before or after. Spray a hydrating spray. This is the one I freaking love. This is from Amorvica, but find one that's in your budget. I'm just sharing what I use, okay? But I like to put this on. You can spray this throughout the day. This smells wonderful. This is full of so many great ingredients. That's why I love this one. And you can even spray it throughout the day on your face, okay? Before you apply your foundation, when you're putting on your moisturizer before your foundation, which I would definitely recommend if you have dry skin, I feel like that should be the primer that you use as a really good moisturizer. You can use a hydrating spray again. So put your moisturizer on, put your hydrating spray on, let it sit for a little bit, let it dry, and then you can put your foundation on. You need to make sure that your dry skin is really, really hydrated. And also, I know I'm repeating myself, but use a cream, liquid blushes. If you want to have nice glowy skin, you do not, if you have dry skin and you're a mature woman, you don't want to wear powder products. I wear a little bit more powder products now that I live in Florida because it can be a little bit more humid, although this time of year it isn't. So I do wear some creams. I just picked the wrong foundation today and I probably should have worn a different one. But you see how glowing my skin looks right now? Do you know why? I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you something that it didn't share. I feel like I've shared this before. I don't wear it all the time. It's this. This is from Dior, and this is the setting spray. This is a hydrating setting spray. And I would say it's probably more of a finishing than anything. But look at the glow that I have on my face. It's from this. I could not use this in the summer because my skin would be crazy. My skin gets a little bit drier this time of the year, but look at the glow that I get from this. This stuff is really, really good. Really, really good. When I first got it, it was like, but honey, it's good. Okay, so if you have dry skin, I definitely would check out something like this. Okay, really, really nice. It is fragrance though. Any brand, I would say anything from Gucci, Dior, Chanel, Givenchy, all those brands are all going to be fragranced. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. Fragrance doesn't bother me. But if you have an allergy to it, then I would definitely stay away. But it does have a fragrance to it. So just know that it does. It doesn't last. After I spray it on, it goes away. But I just want you to know that. But it does have the sprayer on it's pretty nice. It's not bad. See it? So it's a nice spray. I actually like the scent of it, but so there you go. But I would not use this to keep spraying on throughout the day. I would use something like this. So I hope that this video was helpful to you guys. If you have any questions that maybe I didn't answer in the video, let me know in the comments below and I can answer it. Or if it's too complicated, then I will go ahead and share another video on your question, okay? Because if it's something that's, I know that a lot of people want to know about, I know it's going to be helpful. So the main thing with dry skin is got to moisturize. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will catch you guys all in my next video. Bye. I'm like one of those people that doesn't know how to say bye because I do not script my videos. But sometimes I'm trying to end a video and I keep thinking of things and then it's like I'm editing. I'm like, oh my God, would you shut up already? I just keep going. But I don't script my videos. I never have and I never will. It's just a personal opinion. I know some people like to do that because they feel like it's more professional. But I don't. I'm just filming in my house. I always want you to feel like we're just two friends hanging out with each other and we're talking about makeup. I never wanted to be like, I'm this person up here and you're down there. No, we're both on the same level. We're both the same. And I'm not saying because people that do that are on that, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's how I would feel personally. Like, it wouldn't be me. And it would be a disaster because you would be able to tell that I was reading something and be like, no, it just doesn't come naturally to me. To me, it's just better for me to just come on camera and say what I want to say and not like have the script. I'm just not into scripts. I'm not. If a company works with me and they want me to make sure there's key things to say, that's different. But I'm never going to, even with working with a company, I'm never going to sit there and read a script. I can't. I can't do that. This is not my thing. You know what I mean? I'm like on the off the cuff. Is it on the cuff or off the cuff? Whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. So no, I'm not interested. Look at how my skin is glowing. I'm telling you. Look at. Okay. All right, more to film.